Good afternoon, North Georgia. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with your Monday weather update, your weekly weather update that is. We like to do these updates every Monday at 2:30 to keep you updated on what the forecast is showing for the week ahead. And man, we have a very active pattern in store for us right now, especially for today. Right now, we actually even have some severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued into far northwest corners of Georgia. And notice that this is again at 2:31 in the afternoon on Wednesday. So you may be watching this at a later time. We're going to be talking about the forecast in the future here in just a moment, but we're also going to be talking about some things that are happening right now. So let's talk a little bit more about what we're dealing with at this moment. And right now, it's not a ton of activity out there. You look out towards portions of the Rome area up to Floyd County, starting to get a little bit cloudy, starting to get a little stormy looking there. And then you see similar conditions as we look out towards Georgia 400 and I-285 there at Northside Hospital. Now, as we head throughout this afternoon, activity is going to pick up, and we're likely going to see some delays out towards the airport. Now, there have been some delays at the airport today, not regarding weather, but you see there are no weather delays at the moment. That may change, though, later on today with the chance for storms. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 8 p.m. across all those counties you see shaded in orange. Off to our north, there's even a tornado watch in place. The tornado watch, not including us, because our threat for tornadoes isn't as high, but we could have a brief spin-out tornado here and there. Damaging wind is going to be our main threat. So let's take a look at some of these severe storms we have going on right now. This is going to be for Catoosa, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield County. We also have one in place for Dade County. These storms moving off towards the east at a pretty good pace there. They're going to be passing through pretty quick. Damaging wind, again, the main threat, but also you see frequent lightning going to be an issue as well as heavy rainfall. We have another round of severe storms that's going to be back into portions of Mississippi, stretching into Alabama. That line of storms is going to be moving through mainly for the latter part of this afternoon, and that's what's going to be impacting us as we head throughout that evening commute. All these storms kind of making this east-southeasterly movement here, and that continues again as we head throughout the latter part of this afternoon. A level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather for today, so that means an enhanced risk. It means that we could have more scattered strong to severe storms, not just the isolated strong to severe storms that we typically get with a marginal or slight risk. So a little bit more coverage in that chance for severe storms. The higher risk for severe weather today is well off to our north and east. That's into portions of Virginia, eastern portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, stretching into West Virginia and up into Maryland and Pennsylvania. That's going to be where the higher threat for tornadoes is as well. Now, our storm threats for today, mainly going to be damaging wind. Heavy rainfall is also going to be pretty up there, but then just a very low chance for a brief spin-up tornado or also some damaging hail. It's going to be important that you have the 11 Alive app in your back pocket today because you can get those severe alerts straight to your phone. If you have the 11 Alive app already, you probably already had an alert hit your phone earlier today for severe thunderstorm watch, the one that we have in place until 8 p.m. But if we have any warnings put into place, you can get updates right through your phone, and notice that it's going to be really useful to have today because from 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, we may have some thunderstorm activity in there that's strong to severe. That's right around that evening commute time frame. You can also look at the radar live, know where those storms are, if they are going to be impacting that evening commute, and then also you can watch Weathercast Live and Newscast Live, which can be really useful if you lose power. As long as you still have internet or cell service, you can watch the newscast right from your phone. Also, make sure you download the 11 Alive app to your Roku or Fire TV devices. It can be great to have there on your TV for long-form news updates on those news stories that you may be a little more interested in. We like to put extra information on news stories on there. And then long-form weather updates like the one you're watching right now. So let's go ahead and watch what the radar may look like this afternoon as these storms pass through. We already have a few storms out there now. We get to about 4 p.m. Still a few thunderstorms out there in the far northeast Georgia. And then that line of storms that we're looking at over towards Mississippi looks like it's going to start to approach the Alabama-Georgia state line. That moves through. 4, 5 o'clock, we start to see those storms impacting the Atlanta metro right in time for the evening commute, unfortunately. Heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, possibly even some damaging wind associated with all this. Troup County down towards the LaGrange area, Troup County Schools have actually announced that they are going to have an early dismissal today to avoid some of the thunderstorm activity. They're going to dismiss an hour earlier than normal because of these thunderstorms and their potential to be severe. By 7 p.m., still a few storms out there, but thunderstorm activity starts to move out, and then it moves out completely by the time we get to about 8 o'clock, meaning that this is going to be quick. These thunderstorms are going to really push through real fast, and then they'll be out of here, and will be drier as we head throughout overnight tonight. But we're not going to be done with our change for storms for this week. We still have a level 1 risk for strong to severe storms on Tuesday for areas south of the Atlanta metro. We're looking down towards Troup County, stretching all the way over to the Macon area, that level 1 risk, and then a level 2 risk even further south, South Georgia and Middle Georgia. That's going to be where they have a better potential for strong to severe storms. Then on Wednesday, another chance for some strong storms. We're kind of in an active pattern right now. A level 1 risk for all of North Georgia, meaning that, again, an isolated storm or two could be strong to severe. Damaging winds still the main threat, but the higher threat is going to be well off toward northwest into portions of Tennessee, stretching into Arkansas, Missouri, and then further off to the northwest there. So we have a slight chance for rain there on Tuesday. Again, much of the thunderstorm activity will be down to our south. Rain chances ramp up a little bit on Wednesday, and then they go up again for Thursday and Friday at a 40% chance. And then we stay with a 30 to 40% chance pretty much through the weekend and into early next week. How much rain do we get from all this? Well, over the next 7 days, it's looking like anywhere from really about an inch to maybe up to 3 inches of rainfall. That's good because we could use it. The latest drought monitor came out on Thursday, and it shows that we have abnormally dry conditions for spots closer on to the Alabama-Georgia border. That's the area that's expected to get a little bit more in the way of rain this next week, and also some abnormally dry conditions up towards Clayton County. The rain that we get this week should help us to get an improvement in the drought monitor. Maybe not by this Thursday, but by that next Thursday, we should see a good improvement. We did have a pretty wet day here for the Atlanta metro on Sunday. We picked up more than an inch of rainfall. It actually ended up being the 5th wettest day that we've had so far this year. So we haven't had very super wet days so far this year, but just yesterday, that was a pretty good amount of rainfall that helps us catch up. And we may even see a new number added to that list this week with some of the heavy rain that's going to be possible off and on, especially for the end of this week. So how much rain have we had so far this year in Atlanta? More than 28 inches, but we should have had more than 31 inches by this time. Of course, we may be behind here in Atlanta, but you look at other spots and they're well ahead. Covington, barely ahead on rainfall, but look at Athens, well ahead, more than 38 inches. They should be just under 30 inches for this time of year. More than 40 inches in Rome up in Floyd County. They should have just above 31 inches. So again, some spots doing just fine, others hurting a little bit on the rainfall. Out towards the Atlantic, still no chance for tropical development over the next 7 days. That's the good news. But we look out to the Pacific, still a lot of activity just south of Hawaii. The storm not going to impact Hawaii, but we do have Hurricane Dora, and then we also have Tropical Storm Eugene. It is an El Nino pattern right now, which means activity can be a little bit more intense over towards the eastern Pacific and central Pacific, but things tend to calm down a little bit more in the Atlantic during an El Nino pattern. So that's why we have been pretty quiet. If we do get another named storm in the Atlantic, Emily would be the next name. Our tropical timeline shows that we are starting to make our way into the more active time of year for tropical systems in the Atlantic. We're right about here. So you start to see the chart go up, and the activity typically goes up as we head into the last 2 weeks of August, first 2 weeks of September. The season is set to end November 30th. We'll keep you updated throughout hurricane season, of course. Here's your 7-day forecast showing the chance for scattered showers and storms for today. Slight chance for rain there on Tuesday. Rain chances start to ramp up again for Wednesday through Friday, and then we start to see those rain chances go down just a bit for the weekend with temperatures still in the 90s for highs. So we stay hot throughout the week ahead. Here's your 8 to 14 day outlook showing that we are going to have those hotter than average conditions that we've been dealing with for the week ahead, because the average high is 90. We're going to be above that pretty much each day. Looks like we're going to continue on with that trend as we head throughout the middle to end portion of August. So again, this doesn't take into account the 7-day forecast. This is from day 8 through day 14. So that would be temperatures in the lower to mid 90s for highs, similar to like what we have this next week. And then slightly above average rainfall, another similar to what we have for this next week. Possibly maybe another inch to 3 inches of rain from day 8 through day 14. That's good. We could use the rainfall in some spots. Again, not everyone needs the rain. Floyd County doesn't need the rain, but the Atlanta Metro could use a little bit more in the way of rainfall, and we're going to have that possible. Of course, you don't want rain on your weekend getaways. Let's take a look at that, though, as if you're planning a big trip this weekend. Looking from Friday through Monday, heading down towards Destin. Friday is looking like a great day. Take off that extra day from work. Head on down there to the Emerald Coast and have a good time. If you're headed up to Gatlinburg, though, to the Smokies, know that it's not going to be a washout. Off and on showers and storms are going to be possible, though, as we typically get in the mountains this time of year. Charleston, South Carolina. Drier there on Sunday, and then you look up towards Savannah, they're going to be drier on Saturday. Meanwhile, Lake Lanier going to be a little bit drier by Monday, but it is looking like we're going to have some storms this weekend. If you're headed out on the boat, make sure you download that 11 Alive app so you can stay alerted on shower and thunderstorm activity in the area. It is not fun to get stuck on the lake when there's a storm. We want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Here's your Peach State outlook. If you're traveling across the state of Georgia this next 3 days, looking like we are going to have the chance for storms each day for most locations. You see that the rain chances will go down a little bit for some. That's the good news, but just know that you're going to have that chance for rain. And then finally, a Georgia State Park forecast for tomorrow. Many spots are going to be dealing with storms down towards middle and south Georgia, like Providence Canyon, down towards Skidaway Island, some storms in the afternoon. But the further north you get, the lower your chance for rain. So like Cloudland Canyon, Sweetwater Creek, Immaquillah Falls. Lower chances for rain, but still a lot in the way of cloud cover. So I want to bring it back up to the radar again, because again, we are still dealing with some shower and thunderstorm activity out there, some strong to severe storms. We still have severe thunderstorm warning in place here for far northwest Georgia. That's Catoosa, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield County until 3 p.m. Damaging wind is your main threat with this. We're going to continue to watch that closely. That's going to continue to shift its way off to the east. You see a lot of thunderstorm activity starting to ramp out in front of this, out towards Forsyth County, seeing some of those storms moving towards Hall County. We also have a lot of thunderstorm activity over towards the Gadsden area there along I-59 in Alabama. That's moving east, and then we're continuing to track some of these strong to severe storms that are moving into western portions of Alabama. Those are the ones impacting our evening commute as we head throughout tonight. So I know I typically leave it on the 7-day forecast for everybody so that they can get an idea on what we can expect over the next week. I'm actually going to leave it on the radar for tonight, or for this afternoon, excuse me. And for tonight, Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb is in. He's in the building right now, piecing together the forecast and also keeping everybody updated. He's going to be doing cut-ins throughout this afternoon to keep everyone updated on these storms. We also have meteorologist Nicole Hartford in the building, and myself, meteorologist Andrew Wilson. All three of us staffed in for tonight to make sure everybody's aware of what these storms are doing, where they're going, and how they're going to impact you. Again, damaging wind, the main threat with these around the evening commute time frame. Make sure you check the forecast before you head out for today. We'll continue to keep you updated on these storms all throughout tonight, and don't forget to tune in again for our weekend weather update. That's going to be this Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Stay weather aware and stay tuned with 11 Alive.